Welcome to the Market Mindset. We are the hub for news, results, and CEO interviews focusing the junior commodities sector. We provide market analysis and perspective that will help position you for solid returns. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can help support us by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the notification bell. For more info, you can visit our website. All links are in the description below. Now let's get into today's video.
Good morning. It's Monday morning. Good. How is it going today, Austin?
Doing great, Andrew. How are you doing?
All is well. Chaotic market still, but you know, a lot of people are paying much more attention to gold and also mining in general, which is always good, but certainly a little bit more attractive back to gold as people are kind of seeing that there isn't really as much of a correlation between gold, inflation, and these cryptos that they thought.
Yeah.
But there's lots happening in the crypto side as well. As people know, it pulled up the last couple of days there, but it's been hammered all year this year. So year to date, the last 6 weeks or so. So maybe before I make my case for gold and why we are quite excited about it for the year ahead, maybe kind of give us a little bit of a breakdown what's happening with crypto.
Yeah, so obviously, as you mentioned, like crypto's been badly kind of beaten and battered over the last, even the last kind of 8 to 10 months, or sorry, 8 to 10 weeks has been really tough for the crypto market. It started to rebound a bit last week. I know Bitcoin itself was up almost 8%. I believe Ethereum was around 8% as well. Solana, which we've talked about in depth before, was up almost 9% over the week last week. So starting to rebound a little bit, but the SEC in the U.S. has really kind of built this. They're calling it a Trojan horse regulation that they built into their treasury markets platforms regulations that could give them a backdoor access into regulating and putting their hands a little bit more control on the crypto market in general. So if we kind of want to look at the bare bones of what this does, the proposal itself is applying regulations to online brokers, platforms that trade cryptocurrencies. So it gives them the potential to get into the trading mechanisms and different DeFi protocols behind crypto trading and the actual networks themselves, like your Binance or your CoinSmart or any of these other kind of crypto trading platforms. They're going to try to get in there to access it, obviously clamp down, add more restrictions and stuff like that in.
Yeah, and we hinted and mentioned it very briefly back when we were talking about Build Back Better, the Biden plan, and the infrastructure bill. They had snuck in there some provisions and whatnot. I think they called it digital asset, information reporting for broker and digital assets. So not going into the details exactly what that means, but basically it's an amendment to tax code section 60501, and that's caused a lot of concern. And these are all these regulations that are coming down. So this law was written 40 years ago, and it says that anything over 10,000 requires verification of the sender's personal information and social and security number, the nature of the transaction, and report that to the government within 15 days. If not, it's a tax code felony violation. So this is something they've snuck in a while back. And we've been saying, listen, we've been saying this from day one. People, if they like this because of this decentralized, unregulated market kind of idea, it's not going to happen. It's just not. Yeah. That doesn't mean that there won't be some sort of one that might have, but it won't be universally used. It's not going to be a big thing. Maybe, Bitcoin stays around and it's decentralized to some degree, and it works as some sort of ETF marker and a new asset class. But this idea that the whole world is going to be changed because of this, absolutely not. It won't be. But once again, I reiterate, though, that the Solana and the Ethereum ones that actually have application that you can actually use some apps in regards to it, as far as smart contracts, that takes away the value of the coin. But the application of those, those have lots of value. So we've kind of stayed away for the most part of it. It's always interesting, and anything that's makes people kind of question and, highlight like the problems that we have with fiat is not a bad thing. And it definitely captured the imagination of a lot of people to consider, listen, gold seems boring. The likelihood of us going back to a gold standard is pretty unlikely. So it would seem normal that maybe there's some sort of digital application, and there will be. I mean, there's digital currencies being made, and they're going to figure them out, and then they'll release them. And where all these outside projects will fit in, who knows? But I think some of the big names will have a place, but we'll see. It's the premise of it being a brave new world and all this, like the Michael Saylor and all that. I like it. It's fun, but no, I don't buy it. And to me, I love a lot of tech and I love a lot of those things. I just, knowing the history of the world, politics in general, finance and investment banking point of view, they're not for it. Like, they're just not. And if you've got all the money and you've got the army and you've got the politics and the media, doesn't matter what you want. It's something will happen, but it's not going to be what people think. And that doesn't mean you can't make money in it. So I'm not saying that you can't make money. Sure, there's lots of things you can make money at that, it may not end up being the way they're presenting it. But to me, I prefer to head straight back to what we know historically has always worked. And it's head back to metals and mining, to look at the precious metals as inflation's running rampant. Look at copper, look at zinc, look at all these things that are required for everything that they want to do and build back better and across the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing I'll say on crypto before I let you kind of make your big pitch for gold here is that, this regulatory process, while it doesn't directly, put stipulations on cryptos itself, it begins to open the door for it. And then when you build in Biden's, like, he's got a planned executive action as well that was going to tie into this. So kind of the two working together definitely gives the U.S. government, the SEC, the ability to tighten their grip on any sort of decentralized currencies. So that'll be the concern on that front. But it also, like you said, anyone who's listened to us over the last year, we knew this was coming. It was just a matter of how are they going to introduce it? How are they going to try to get their fingers in there? And this looks like the attack strategy, at least from the U.S. government.
Yeah, and it's one thing that the Russians, the Chinese, and the Americans can be on board with, is that they're not really down for a lot of this crypto market to be running rampant. And we saw, even I think it was this weekend, there was concerns from the Russians in regards to Kazakhstan because most of their energy bill right now is spent on crypto. Crypto mining is one of their biggest things. And people don't follow a lot about Kazakhstan, but I happen to, because if you're talking uranium, you're talking nuclear, Kazakhstan's where it's at. That's where the cheapest uranium you're going to get out of the ground. And they have a stranglehold on it. Even more so than the Athabasca Basin and Cameco, Kazakhstan, you can get it out of the ground very cheap. So it's just interesting to see a place that's kind of energy driven, and that's funding. I think it's like 48 new reactors in China. Like, they need nuclear. I mean, they need uranium. Even the Chinese are like, no, we're not that excited about your crypto mining over there, because once again, they can't control it. Like, it's just, that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is if we can't find out a mechanism for controlling it, which is what regulation, we're not down for it. We can't just have something out there in the ether that is that we have no kind of say in. And all this build back better and all this thing, it involves everyone. It isn't just like a Biden strategy. That's why you see pretty much everyone that is following this kind of mandate. They're all part of this WEF kind of thing. They all have said, there's a video actually you can go on YouTube and watch all of these world leaders, and it's all the names you'd expect are all saying build back better, and they have been for years. And it was a World Economic Forum slogan as well. So there's this tie-in moving forward. That does it mean that there's going to be crypto? Of course there's going to be crypto. Of course there's going to be digital assets, but it's if you're unsure of if this global, and I won't call them elite because there's nothing elite about them, but this global group wants to control things, I think you'd have to admit by now that they're not going to release any control of things. It would be very foolish to think that they would. So my case isn't even like for gold. Like I'm not a gold bug. I mean, a lot of people think that I am because I cover so much gold, but I never was. When I worked at Merrill, I didn't have a lot of interest in any of that. But it's just because of the situation we're in that 4 or 5 years ago, I became very interested in it. And I don't take it from the position like we're going to go back to the gold standard or anything like that. I mean, once again, you can't. They've done so much. Like and we are in this great reset, and I mean, there's going to be some pain involved in that. But we've created way too many complex products, and to have it backed by gold again would seem, I mean, it's possible, but it's unlikely. No. And also, once you go back onto that kind of standard, it's hard to just create out of thin air. And right now, the Fed gets to create money out of thin air, and why would I give that up once again?
Yeah,
and if I can convince the people not to panic, and I can convince them, even with inflation running rampant for years before now, I mean, I make that case that inflation's been very high, regardless of what the government numbers are. It's just now that they're reporting them as being this high, that's more disconcerting. The flight to safety also means value and growth, and there's a ton of value. Now we cover a lot of exploration stories. We talk about more of that kind of dynamic speculative curve. But if you're looking at like an actual gold producer and gold's up above 1800 again, it's looking positive. That's cash flow. It's free cash flow for these big giant gold companies, whether you're Goldcorp or Newmont or any of these ones. There's so much cash flow now for them. And maybe one day we'll do a little bit of a dig into into that, what the numbers look like, because gold above 1,500 is super attractive for any gold mining story. And
absolutely,
we tied that in because we have a gold IPO that came across our desk as well that we're going to introduce to some of our readers if they're accredited investors. It's nothing that we can, like, we don't get paid or anything like that, but I get deals passed on and we pass them on to people if they're interested all the time, and let them know, go talk to XYZ over here if you like it. But we have one that's very compelling and it's perfect timing as far as I'm concerned. So feel free to reach out if you're interested, but we were going to reach out to our subscriber base and let them know that there's a webinar and whatnot for this company. But you know what? I think it's going to be a good year. Well, obviously it's going to be a good year for metals, but I think for gold should have a pretty strong year. And nonetheless, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be volatile for sure. And we just have to stay focused and keep our head clear as to what we're trying to achieve with our own portfolio, and if it matches with our own what we want to see for the future.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the key to kind of looking at any of these current operations and opportunities that are out there, is saying, all right, what's going to best fit my view and my vision for how we want to move forward? Where do I want to support with my money and my time and my energy for projects that are going to take us in the right direction and help benefit and fix a lot of the current problems that we're seeing.
Good. And then, of course, in our subscriber section, which we're building out, we're putting some of the solutions and some of the companies that work in that kind of carbonomic sector. So we're breaking that down. So for our subscribers, we'll have that in there for you shortly. That's kind of how we're working things on the Fridays. We're presenting some of these ideas and some of these terms, defining them, presenting the problem or what the issue is moving forward, and then we provide some solutions to our subscribers when they, because once again, we want to put out enough content out there for people to be excited and interested, and then try to leave that less commentary about it until you get for our subscribers. So we start really engaging people in there. And of course, we've got the Market Model Mindset, which we spent quite a bit of time with, and it's quite a comprehensive course that also kind of gives a sneak peek and foundation as to how to look at some of this opportunity out there.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It gives you a nice kind of breakdown and overview of the strategy that you kind of developed and how you evaluate and look at these opportunities. And I think it's extremely valuable to anyone who's interested in kind of getting a little bit more of an in-depth look at how the process works. And that's honestly the best place you can start.
I think too, what we might do is we might send out emails to those on our list and say, hey, here's a couple of topics. Which ones do you think are most interesting to you? so that we get we get some feedback from you as well, where you want, what the directions that you want us to go in, because I think that helps. We want to make sure that we're creating the content you guys want. The stocks that we like and the direction we're going, we already know. But also, this is partly, we love to research. I love to research. I'm reading, and I mean, all the time. I mean, at least half my day is research. So if you've got an area you've got some interest in, please let us know. If it's something that we think makes sense, we're happy to look into it too. And, love that discussion. So anyways, let's get out this week. Lots happening this week, and let's make it a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, everybody. And we'll see you back. Well, you'll see everyone back here on Wednesday, and then I'll see you guys back here on Friday.
Oh, but before I forget too, we're releasing your work and my addition, but you're guiding us down the gaming sector path. Today at 11 a.m. we're releasing the first video, I believe.
Yeah, so anyone who's interested, check out that first video when it comes out. And then what we'll be doing is we'll be putting the actual report itself, and the remainder of the series will be on the site behind, obviously, the subscription wall. But all you got to do is go in, sign up to the website, get signed up, become a subscriber, and you're going to get access to that full dive in. So if that first video, if you kind of see wheels turning in your head, hey, I see some opportunities here, definitely take a further look into it. And it'll be an ongoing series as well. We're going to keep updating it as we go forward. So really excited about that.
Perfect. And just so people are aware, it's not a paid subscriber. All you're doing is putting your email in. That's it. It's just so we know someone's interested in what we're doing and we're on the right track. All right, guys, enjoy the week. I'm glad you're here, and reach out to us anytime.
Yep. Take care, guys. Cheers.